formation, Roberts and Donaldson behind quarterback Julian Sayin, who works under center Heisman. Nobody out wide. Handoff. No, it's a fake handoff. Looking to throw into the end zone. Wide open, and it's caught by Kazmarek for a touchdown. A 2-yard pass play. Julian Sayin with a fake handoff. He hits tight end Will Kazmarek with his second touchdown catch of the year. And the Buckeyes' lead is now grown to 26-0 over Wisconsin.
Scotty, I know you love every Ohio State touchdown, but I feel like when that former Bobcat gets one, that makes your heart beat a little faster, I believe, there. As the touchdown to Will Kazmarek there put the Buckeyes up 27-0 in that game. Again, Ohio State never really felt like they were in any kind of danger.
That touchdown is the best design play that Brian Hartline has had so far.
It was a pretty good one, right? I don't think anybody saw that coming at all. Very, very nice execution. And in a red zone where, again, I don't know if it's play calling, I don't know if it's execution. It's just not quite perfect.
Well, what's funny, too, is you and I were talking about this during the break, how Ohio State, a lot of the criticism last week, which, of course, there's so many people that want to nitpick, and understandably, you're the number one team. There's nitpicking, but it was some of the play calls, some of the run plays. And Ohio State comes out of the gates yesterday. First 12 plays, 11 of them were passing attempts.
And I think that was a little bit out of respect to Wisconsin's front seven. You heard Carson Hinsman earlier this week talk about how good their front seven was. They obviously were not going to be able to cover Max Clare, Carnell Tate, Jeremiah Smith, Bo Jackson out of the backfield, all of those guys in the passing game. So Ohio State, I think, knew that they could take advantage of that. 614-821-9710, that is the number to call. Jeremiah, you called that, and you are up now on the Fan Call-In Show. Good morning, Jeremiah.
Good morning. I think we need to change the name on the back of that Sayin's jersey to the surgeon. Because that boy can thread a needle to them tight ends, drop dimes to Tate, and I didn't realize he had the rocket that he sent to Ennis on that when he got pushed out of the pocket on right there towards the end of the game. And I just thought the surgeon was a good name for him. And you talked about his Heisman odds jumping. You want to do a Heisman campaign, I think that's the one for that boy right there. He continues to impress every week.
Yeah, thank you for the call, Jeremiah. His precision with the passing game and his patience with the passing game are just something that seems well above his years. Like we said, he's just made 7 starts in college football. But for me, his patience to just take what the defense is given to him, never seeming to want to force something in there downfield, which I think it would be easy to do for a young kid like that. Very impressive. And I think a lot of credit has to go to Ryan Day and I believe Billy Fessler, the quarterback's coach, and just ingraining in him, we can win games not being perfect, but we cannot win games by making mistakes. Do not make mistakes. And Julian Sayin has been so patient in not doing that.
Well, you talk about a Heisman campaign, and I got to tell you, that Heisman campaign, he is now a front runner because he went from about 15-1 to start the day. And now I pull up the ESPN Bet app. We, of course, on this show, we do our betting at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Julian Sayin is now 4-1. His Heisman odds are 4-1. I got it yesterday at 8-1 because I got it kind of a little bit before the odds were changing, and I'm happy I did. I'm happy I hopped in on it. But he is now 4-1. The only guys ahead of him are Fernando Mendoza at plus 275 and Ty Simpson at plus 350. So as far as the campaign goes, the campaign has started because he's in the top 3.
I'm glad you talked about that because Kirk wants to talk about the Julian Sayin Heisman campaign. Kirk, what do you got for us this morning?
Hey, guys, good morning. And as much as I love to listen to Jim and Paul do the call on the radio network, I did cheat yesterday, and I was listening to 10 TV and the CBS broadcast. And I think Ohio State must have tapped CBS on the shoulder and said, hey, it's time to put this campaign in full gear. I thought yesterday on the broadcast they did nothing but sing the praises of Julian Sayin, and he had a game to back it up. And I think this campaign is in full swing right now, gents.
It's in full swing. It absolutely is in full swing. I mean, I'm telling you, you don't generally see Heisman odds, no matter how good of a game is. You don't generally see someone go from 15-1 to 4-1 in one game. And part of that was we saw on Friday night, Carson Beck was up there as a favorite.
Not no mo.
No. 4 interceptions meant Carson Beck went from about 4-1, and he is now literally 60-1 to win the Heisman. So it's been a wild ride, but the campaign has started.
Kirk, hang on the line. We'll hook you up with a pair of passes to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I will say this, though, about that. Did Ohio State tap CBS and say, hey, let's start this Heisman campaign? Or did Ohio State do it with that play calling yesterday and saying, this is the way we're winning this game? As I don't think Ohio State cares about it, quite frankly. I think Ohio State wants that. But I don't think Ohio State has built such a team first, all about the team. If you want money, go somewhere else. We want you to be here and be a Buckeye. I think that's probably why Ohio State hasn't really pushed a Heisman campaign on any of these guys, but that all takes care of it on the field, right? It's like you take care of your business on the field, awards come later. I don't know if CBS started it. They just didn't have a choice. The way Julian Sayin played yesterday, that was such a great performance by him, and Ohio State went pass heavy because that was the way to win the game. I think it just happened that way. I think Nessler and Danielson were just like, whoa, look at this kid. We've seen him twice now. He doesn't make any mistakes.
Well, and think about this, because Heisman a lot of times is about those big moments in those big games. Think about the opportunity that we're going to have potentially at the end of the year where, let's say, things continue the way it looks like it's going to continue, and you have a number 1 Ohio State against Indiana in a Big Ten championship game, because the other Heisman favorite, the actual Heisman favorite right now, is Fernando Mendoza. And imagine if you've got the number 1 ranking, number 1 seed on the line in Lucas Oil, and, oh, by the way, you've got the quarterbacks that are probably both Heisman finalists playing in that game. I know I was looking at ticket prices yesterday for Lucas Oil. I'm already starting to be like, oh man, I want to be in Indy to watch Ohio State and Indiana. I unfortunately, sometimes I get ahead of myself. I've gotten ahead of myself on this.
Not you.
In previous years.
Not you.
In previous years buying Big Ten championship tickets, but just imagine the potential Heisman showdown that could be.
I'll instruct all the other producers to start playing Weird Al's Like a Surgeon every time we mention Julian Sayin.
There you go.
You are part in this campaign.
There we go.
Yes.
Sayin the Surgeon. 614-821-9710 is the number. Still got room for you. Let's head back out to those phone lines. Let's go to Brian. Brian, good morning. Thanks for waking up early on the Fan Call-In Show.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me. And for Ryan Baker, just want to say Dublin Kaufman grad right here.
There we go.
No, again, obviously just on the Julian Sayin train, but just want to talk about it from a different perspective. Brian Day for the last few years has always had these quarterback battles, and it's just hard for me watching these games to not understand how he wasn't, pegging him as the QB1 earlier on, and just want to get your thoughts on that after watching, him over the last 7 weeks.
Real quick, since you gave us a Dublin Kaufman, I want to give you one of these.
Oh, I missed the Sounders, Ryan. Let's bring those back. Come on.
I will say this. I do believe there was a quarterback battle. And I think maybe the battle was what kind of style of offense they wanted to play. Because I do think with Julian Sayin, there was never a doubt that the upside of this offense was going to be higher and it was going to be more high powered. And some of what you saw yesterday, that they could be able to sling the ball around. Now, I do think Lincoln, there was a leadership thing with him that was really good. And I do think they would have ran an offense a little more similar to last season and what you saw with Will Howard. And after that just won you a national championship, it's kind of hard to go away from that. But I do believe in everybody that was out at practice that saw it, the upside and the potential was always higher with Julian Sayin.
And look, we're obviously good friends with a lot of people on the Ohio State beat, and Dave Biddle, hosts On the Money right after this show with me. And I don't think there was anybody that was really expecting Lincoln Kienholz to win that competition, but competition is healthy, right? And one thing that I love that Ryan Day, as far as the culture that he's brought, is his thought is we're going to compete in everything, right? And everything is a competition to get better. And I love that. Like, it just kind of brings out those competitive juices, like I kind of feel that way too. It's like you always want to compete. If you're going to compete at something, go all in at it. And
if you're going to do it, be the best.
And be the best. And so I love the idea that every position is up for grabs, and nobody is guaranteed anything, and you got to compete for it, especially a job that's opened up after you have a national championship winning quarterback. Yeah, you're not just given the job.